So the first section in business English deals with the importance of communication in business. Now, why is communication so important in business? It is basically because, you see, a company's success depends on business. For example, suppose you have a company that is dealing in cars. Let's take, for example, any car showroom company. Now, naturally, for them to be successful, they have to release new models of cars every year. They have to bring out variants in their car: petrol, diesel, automatic, manual, and all those things. They'll have to have a good sales team to promote their car effectively. There are so many things that are important, and along with this, communication methods are also crucial. Without communication, almost all these things will fail. For example, communication can mean even a WhatsApp message, a picture, an audio, a video. All these things together is communication. And because communication is so important, it is very crucial. So, what is communication? Communication is the process of how we share information in verbal or written form. Learning to communicate better can improve job performance and advance your career. And so we will discuss why communication is important in business and how you can improve your business communication skills. Now, this is not just limited to speech alone. Companies work with a wide variety of people, businesses, prompting them to communicate in a variety of medium. For example, let's say a company as huge as Coca-Cola or PepsiCo or McDonald's, for example. All of them, they are working from remote locations. Remote locations would be maybe their corporate office might be in New York or Japan. The time zones would be different. And they work with a wide variety of people. For example, while America is awake, Japan would be sleeping. Or while America is awake, India would be sleeping. But at the same time, McDonald's in India has to start working. So like this, and the maybe if the chicken or the burger is vegetarian burger or non-vegetarian burger, if it is processed from a particular place and sent to different sections, then logistics have to work. So it's business communication is so important. It is not only limited to speech. There are so many people working in this, and different variety of communication methods. And to be very effective, care is given to the tone and clarity of the message, regardless of the communication method. So very important is that you have to be clear as to what you say, and your tone also has to be very important. Now, these are 4 standard methods of business communication. 1, verbal communication is the use of your voice to convey an idea, spark an opinion, and it can include virtual meetings, phone calls, and in-person conversations. So just like I am talking to you, now I am talking to you virtually. Some of you might be sitting and listening using a laptop. Some of you might be lying down using a phone. Some of you might be traveling at the same time, keeping your headphones on. Some of you might simply be switching off, maybe doing something else. So, but at the same time, the communication, I am trying to convey an idea to you. I'm trying to tell you something which I hope that you will be able to understand. So it can be through virtual meetings. It can be through a personal phone call. It can also be through in-person conversations. In-person conversations nowadays are done with the use of masks because of the present situation. Now, so this is one way. So verbal communications can be of different types, like virtual meetings, phone calls, and person-to-person conversations. Next would be visual communication. Now, visual communication is by the use of an image or a graphic to make an idea very clear. So I send you a chart or I send you a map or I send you an infographic, or I send you a poster, or I send you a video, all this is tuned to visual communication. That is, using images or graphics, I can make you understand, or an idea is conveyed from my side to your side. So this is visual communication. Then we also have non-verbal forms of communication. Here, non-verbal communications would be through our behavior. For example, you have body language, you have gestures, you have dresses, you have facial expressions. Let's say for an interview, the way you dress is very important. The level of formality is different. Maybe you will have to dress if you're a boy or a male, you might have to wear a shirt with your pants, and the shirt should be tucked in. If it is a girl or a woman, churidar or sari, decent churidar or sari would be acceptable, and things like that. Now, this is a dress. Now, the facial expressions also would be different, in the sense that for an interview, you would have to maintain a calm, composed, pleasant expression. Instead of being angry, you might have become angry with your mother or parents just prior to coming for the interview. But then at that particular point of time, your facial expression has to be different, because you are coming for an interview. The same way, your gestures, there are certain symbols and sign languages that you can use. Now, you know that these certain, for example, when I'm teaching you, if I move my hands in a certain fashion, you know that I'm trying to convey the message to you. But suppose the same hand is used in different forms, it could convey a different meaning to you, and that might be offensive to you. And so gestures are also very important. And then there is also what you call the body language. The body language is how I sit, and if it is in a virtual class, how I address you. If you have turned on your cameras, you will know that I am addressing you straight into your face. Now, I know that I am addressing you virtually, but then what I do is I am looking into the camera eyepiece, because that is how I know that I can connect with you. At the same time, I tell you that I'll be looking towards the right or left, because that's only because of my second monitor. But as much as possible, I will try to uh, sort of see you. I'll try to address you as if it's a live classroom, although I know that it is a virtual classroom. So the body language, the gestures, the dressing, and facial expressions are also very important, and they form part of what you call non-verbal communications. And finally, you have written communications. Now, written communication can be through print or digital media. Nowadays, digital media is gaining favor. Of course, you also have the print. That is, you can have handwritten. Let's say this may not be related to business, but suppose from a class you want to take leave, you give a leave letter application to your class tutor. Now, this is a written format. You can also, maybe in business terms, you might be wanting to write a letter to your manager saying that I would like to take leave due to personal inconvenience and things like that. So this is a print in the sense that you are handwriting it. It can also be in the form of digital media. Now, in digital media, you can have emails. You can also have letter formats. Letter formats can also be in the print form. You can have memos, you can have reports, and you can have other different types of documentation. Now, we will be learning certain sections of other documentation also, so that when you graduate into one field of business, then you will be able to communicate as a better person. Now, this is the advantage of a functional English batch. See, you are able to learn different aspects of English, one being business. And in business, how you will be able to communicate with your peers, with your business associates, with your managers, with your employees. These are things that we will be teaching you in a slightly less manner than others. Of course, the BBA honors and students and BCom finance students will be learning more, but you will have a chance to understand these nuances of business communication. So what are the different types of business communications? Business communications are basically in four, are classified into four. One, verbal communications. Two, visual communication. Three, non-verbal communication. And four, written communication. I hope you have understood. Thank you very much. Well, let me just stop the recording and then we will have a discussion on this.